going on, CSBA, and welcome to an exciting edition of CSBA Hoops Today. We are in the middle of the most wonderful time of year with March Madness, and I hope you are enjoying it as much as I am. We are getting ready to start the Final Four, and what a tournament we have had with exciting games and even some buzzer beaters to get to where we are today. This episode is going to be all about the Final Four teams and showcasing how each have made it to this point. So without further ado, let's get right into it and learn which teams make up Season 12's Final Four. There are certainly some surprises here, as only one number one seed has made it to the Final Four this year, which was the Oregon Ducks. Our first matchup is the number 6 seed Michigan Wolverines against the number 3 seed Houston Cougars, and your other matchup is the number 1 seed Oregon Ducks going up against the number 3 seed in St. John's. All four of these teams can certainly light up the scoreboard, and both of these matchups should be great and make up an electric final with whoever makes it. Up next, we are going to take a deeper dive into how each team made their way to this point, and the first team we will start with is none other than the Oregon Ducks. The number 1 seed Ducks had a well-deserved first-round bye, so only had to win 2 games to make it to this point, but it was certainly not easy. They took on a red-hot UNLV squad in the Sweet 16, but ended up pulling away with a 13-point victory. Then in the Elite Eight, they had a barn burner matchup with Kansas and escaped with a 7-point win. We shall see if the Player of the Year in Letterman Jr. can lead the Ducks to the promised land. Our next team we will be covering is the Red Storm of St. John's. St. John's came into the tournament a number 3 seed, so certainly needed to stay red hot to continue marching further into the madness. In the first round, they took on an underachieving Arizona State team who proved worthy early, but quickly pulled away with a 29-point win. Then in the Sweet 16, it was a toss-up facing off with the Hawkeyes of Iowa. What a game this was, but the Johnnies proved to be too much in the end, advancing to the Elite Eight. And in their third matchup in the Elite Eight was against a well-rounded Mississippi State squad, but St. John's offense could not be stopped as they put up an insane 113 points. I certainly would not want to face this squad in the Final Four, as their offense appears to be clicking on all cylinders. Up next, we will showcase the Houston Cougars. Houston came in as a team to definitely watch out for, and they have proved that they deserve to be one of the last 4 teams standing. In round 1, the Cougars took down a South Carolina squad by 9 to keep their confidence at an all-time high. In the Sweet 16, they met up with a juggernaut in Duke, but they were not afraid of the spotlight as they easily took down the Blue Devils by 19. Then in one of the best Elite Eight games we had, they went up against the Shockers and put up over 100 points to gain a 3-point victory. So what a road the Cougars have had by taking down Duke and Wichita State, and we shall see if they can keep it going in the Final Four. And last but not least, let's take a look at Michigan Wolverines. The Wolverines came in with a lot to prove based on their regular season record, and they are one of the hottest teams left in the tournament. In round 1, they took down the Aztecs by a lopsided 40 points, and to follow up that effort, they took down a very good Marquette team, and then in the Elite Eight, they took down their rival, Michigan State, to prove that they are the best team in Michigan. The Wolverines are one of the fastest teams in the CSBA, and I would not be shocked to see them make the final. In our next segment, we will be discussing the keys to victory for each team and how to make it to the national championship. Let's start off with Oregon. Here are my 2 players to watch in Ethan Letterman Jr. and Cal Yente. Letterman is your reigning player of the year, averaging 22.5 points and 6 assists this tournament, and he is complemented well by Yente, who is nearly averaging a double-double this tournament. If Oregon wants a shot at the title, Letterman will need to continue carrying this team. Another player to keep an eye on is DeAndre Burner, who is only a sophomore, but is averaging nearly 10 points a game coming into the tournament. Biff Markham is also another player who went off against Kansas for 17 points and 4 assists in the Elite Eight, so I would not be surprised to see him have another great game. It's going to be tough to go against the Ducks with the Player of the Year, and you're definitely going to have to shut Letterman down first if you want to knock them out of this tournament and go on to the national championship. Next up, we will take a closer look at the Johnnies. St. John's is coming into the Final Four with one of the most dangerous offenses left in the tournament. The 2 players to keep an eye on are Vasiliki Gunakis and Caden Connor. Gunakis is nearly averaging a double-double with 19.3 points per game and 8.3 rebounds this tournament, and Caden Connor, who is one of the purest scorers in the CSBA, averaging just under 19 points per game. The Johnnies love to speed up the tempo, and I think they will need to continue to do that if they want a shot at cutting down the nets. They love scoring points, especially in transition, which creates a lot of great dunks and open shots. If you want to beat St. John's, you need to have a defender glued to Connor at all times and slow the tempo down to reduce the Red Storm's chances. St. John's is certainly one of the most exciting teams left in the CSBA, and it will not be easy to knock them out. Our next showcase is none other than the Houston Cougars. The Cougars have been nothing short of impressive throughout this tournament. The two players to look out for are Everywhere and Leon Sandcastle. Both of these players have been playing out of their minds, with Ware averaging 22 points per game this tournament and Leon Sandcastle averaging a crazy double-double with 23 points per game and 11 rebounds per game. In round one, Sandcastle also had a crazy stat line of 18 points and 15 rebounds. Houston is another team who certainly likes to score and put up points, and no team has been able to hold them down. If the Cougars can continue making buckets and out-rebound their opposition, I don't know if anyone will be able to beat them. A third player to watch out for is Earl Flint Jr., who also had an excellent round one with 18 points and 7 rebounds. That just proves that even if you take out one key cog on this Houston team, that another player can easily step up and take their place. Our final Final Four team we will be discussing in further detail is the Wolverines of Michigan. Michigan is one of the most exciting teams I've been able to cover this tournament, and two of the many players to watch are Kingston Ali and Slurms McKenzie. Ali is averaging just above 21 points per game this tournament, and McKenzie is averaging 14 points and 8 rebounds a game thus far, so just missing out on a double-double. If you just look at their regular season record coming into this tournament, you wouldn't even give this team a chance. But to watch the speed on the court and the weapons the Wolverines have to offer, they proved exactly why they are here and here to stay. If Michigan wants to advance to the national championship, they have to outrun their opponent and keep raining buckets. Their transition game is extremely difficult to keep up with, and I would not be surprised if they have another game in the 90s. If they do just that, you may just see them in the national championship, and you may just see them cutting down the nets here in season 12. Here, one last time, is your Final Four bracket for season 12 in the CSBA. If I were to give my own personal predictions, I would predict the national championship to be Michigan versus St. John's, and I would expect St. John's to be cutting down the nets as your national champion. But with all of that, I hope you all enjoyed this Road to the Final Four show. It's been a great tournament so far, and I expect even greater moments in this Final Four. Please be sure to like and comment on the video of who you think will be the national champion, and I'll see everyone once again in the streams. For everyone here in the CSBA, I'm Titus, and I'm out.